Welcome again, everyone, to the broadcast. Sean Cornett here from St. Louis. It's my great honor to introduce an incredible guest that we have here with us. He's got a long list of accomplishments. He's been a featured speaker at Ambition as a fast-track EC, which means he, in a very quick amount of time, went to one of the most prestigious levels within Ambit, executive consultant. He's a Pure Energy Award winner, Common Club member, A-list member, but most importantly, we are kindred spirits because we are both hockey players. Although this individual played at a level that I only dreamed of, he was semi-pro and played at a very high level, much longer than I have been able to maintain. So very jealous at his abilities. Maybe one day we'll get to meet on the ice. But until then, please help me welcome to the broadcast, Mr. Jeff Rollins, executive consultant. Welcome. Are you there, Jeff?
I am. How do I sound? Good?
Good. And you know what I just realized? I apologize. That entire intro period, they were looking at you instead of me.
That's not fair.
You know what? But you're looking good, my friend. So that works out well. Sometimes
I'm not supposed to do.
Sometimes I just don't have my technicalities down here. So I'm going to switch it to you. You're coming through loud and clear, and take it away, my friend.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to our in-home home party presentation. I'm very honored to be asked by Sean to do this tonight. And, it's amazing to me to hear the things that Sean's talking about. My career in a hockey career was something that, was long lasting, but not long enough. We never reached those heights that we think that we're going to reach. And I think that's in life. That's what happens. My Ambit Energy experience started in 2010 in the same room, not so set up nice, but and I was sitting there as a contractor in the business for over 20 years. I'm a father of 5. So my oldest is now 27 and my youngest is 11. I have 4 girls and a boy. So I thought I had my life set. I had a career that I had worked on very long. I had gotten really good at it. And that's what I was doing for when I got a call about Ambit Energy. But something happened in the building industry that had never happened before. And maybe you experienced this as a person that your career has turned, or maybe you got turned out by one of these big corporations. Whatever it is, I was sitting there in a building industry that did very well for me. But the banking industry decided that they were going to change the rules. And what they did in the banking industry was this. Is when you would have a banking industry and a real estate industry climb, it would climb for several amount of years, and then what would happen is it would start to dip, and the banks would go back and they would do what they called writing their book. They would rewrite their book. They would go back and rewrite mortgages. Everybody lived a little high on the hog, and everybody's equity grew, and it was a great marriage, and they would go back and they would refinance. Well, that stopped happening in 2010. I spent the last 12 years really promising my girls that I would send them to college of their choice. And my oldest daughter had a dream of being a special ed teacher. So I was sitting there in 2009. She graduated from high school. In 2010, we shipped her off to college, Messiah College, Pennsylvania. She was playing lacrosse, and she was going to fulfill her dream of being a special ed teacher. But unfortunately, behind the scenes, we had a situation where we were actually put in a position where our income started to fall apart. And we were very fearful that we were going to have to take Cassandra out of college, bring her back home, put her in a community college. And then I got a phone call about Ambit Energy. And what an amazing situation it's been. But I was very reluctant to go. In fact, executive consultant Jay Emma, I had met him through my accountant. We were mutual friends, and not knowing behind the scenes, he was trying to get me into the business so he could promote to the next level. I was the last person that entered into his marketing consultant business, and he had just signed up my accountant. So we spent about 45 minutes on the phone. And if you watched a video, if you watched something, we just talked about it being $75 plus your first month's website to get into business, $100. Well, I was having a conversation with Jay, and he was telling me that he needed close to $500 for me to get started in this business. It was $429 plus your first month's website. So about 35-minute conversation. I really didn't know if it was for me. I knew that I needed something. So I paid him to end the conversation. And that was pretty much my start of my Ambit Energy career. And to take this, I want you to think about this, because not everybody jumps. And I was a fast track executive consultant, but I wasn't a fast track regional consultant nor a fast track senior consultant. Because when I signed up for Ambit Energy on October 14th of 2010, I never stepped into a business presentation until February of 2011. So about a 4.5 month period of time, I sat in this. I signed up my house. It made sense. Save money on the electricity. I was a leadership of my church at the time, and I signed up my church, and that's all I did. And then what Jay did is he had the patience to ask me to come. I told him I'd do my best to be there, probably about 10 times. And finally I showed up, and I was amazed by what I saw. See, when you see something that finally clicks, and when I started to realize that they were actually going to pay me to make money based off of other people using electricity, there were some differences there. First of all, they weren't asking for experience on a resume, and that was a good thing. Because I might have been a good hockey player, but my resume was being self-employed all my life. I didn't have a resume, and so I never worked for anybody. So there was no way I could say my accolades and what I was going to do. The second thing is they were going to let me earn and learn at the same time. I mean, there aren't a lot of opportunities in America that they're going to allow you to earn and learn and do it at your pace and get into a business and change your life. So I started, and my goal simply was this. Cassandra, we kept her in college because my goal was to make an extra $1,000 a month on a part-time basis. That was my goal. But what happened was we didn't take her out of college. We had the confidence that this would work before it worked. So what we did is we actually left her in college, and we let her go back to college in 2010. She graduated in 2013 as a special ed teacher. And she worked for about maybe a year, about 10 miles away from her house in Westchester County. And she was working in a very affluent area. She came home one day and she said, "Dad, listen, these kids in the town of Harrison have all the resources. They're special ed kids, but they're going to be fine. I want to go somewhere I'm going to make a difference." So she moved to the inner city of Philadelphia, and she started to develop charter schools in the inner city, in probably one of the roughest neighborhoods in the United States of America. And she got married last year to 2 years ago now to a guy from Scotland, and she's fulfilling her dreams of being a special ed teacher, and she's a positive contributor to our economy. My other two are graduating in May. I have two graduating in May, one on the 6th and one on the 14th. I believe that they still would have graduated from college if I hadn't joined Ambit Energy. But I don't know if the story would have been the same. I don't know if bringing Cassandra back and putting her into a community college instead of staying where she was in college, she would have had the relationships and the people she met and the things that she's done. I don't know if my other two would have done what they're doing. They probably would have been fine. But this company allowed us, to change ourselves, for me to reinvent myself, and put myself in a position that I could start something else new that's changed our life in a residual way, in what you're looking at tonight. So why does Ambit Energy work so well? There's a lot of direct sales companies out there. We've heard of them all. Why does it work so well? Because we have a service, not a product. We're in a situation where we are not asking people to spend any more money than that they're already spending, and we're actually asking them, showing them how to spend less for something that they have to pay month after month after month, today, tomorrow, next year, next, for the rest of their life. The second reason is we don't change people's purchasing habits. See, a lot of companies that are in the direct sales world, what they do is they ask people to change purchasing habits. Now, I don't know if you've ever experienced this before, but I know in our life, we joined a company that delivered vitamins to our house. And they kept delivering vitamins to our house. And they had expectations of how many vitamins we should take. And about 8 months later, we hadn't followed completely. We went on vacation, and there was a pile of vitamins that began to develop on our countertop in our kitchen. And I looked at my wife. I said, "We need to stop the vitamin delivery until we catch up." Well, the problem is we ran out of vitamin C before we ran out of fish oil, and we slipped back into our old purchasing habit, and we never did business with that company again. See, in Ambit Energy, nobody is going to cancel their electric bill when they're about the 20th of the month. They're not going to call up their electric company and say, "Hey, you know what? I got enough electricity, and when I begin to need more, I'll call you back and I'll restart my direct shipment to my house." That's not going to happen. So we don't stop the shipment, and we don't change the purchasing habit. The second thing is, is the power of part-time. And I want you to think, you're sitting right now, you looked at an opportunity. This might have been the first time somebody invited you, or it might have been the fifth or the sixth, and you finally showed up just so they'd stop asking you to come. But bottom line is you're looking at an opportunity that can change your life in a very big way. So you have to make a decision. Could you do it? Well, if it wasn't part-time, I wouldn't have been able to start this opportunity. I had a corporation that was struggling. I had 5 kids that my daughter was playing lacrosse in college. So being able to start 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there for a situation where I could put in 5 or 10 hours a week, 1 week, and maybe put in 1 week the other, allowed me to grow. And I used the system that was in place. Another thing we have is the power of part-time. We have a system in place that puts us in a position where that we can plug into that system. And the system that's put in place is part of the timing that you guys are in right now. I don't know where you sit. I heard some announcements from Connecticut. I know some people in my team from Maine that are watching right now. We have a 3% market share in the entire market of Ambit Energy, and maybe a higher percentage in Texas and New York. But the timing's perfect for you right now to get into Ambit Energy. Ambit Energy is a data processing company that entered into the energy business, and we're the marketing arm of that. So it's in place for you to step right in. The timing's perfect, and the system that's in place is a system that's already been proven through a company called Excel Communications. Our co-founder Chris Chambliss was part of that company, and that company took the system that was in place and they moved the system over to Ambit Energy. They tweaked what was good, and they learned from what they didn't do well, and that system's in place for us right now today. So you need to look at yourself and say, is this something for me? What is your why? You probably heard someone talk about their why in the beginning of your presentation. I talked about my why, but what is your why? Why would you want to start a part-time energy business? Why would you want residual income coming into your home? That's something that you need to identify with if you're going to put yourself in a position to be successful in this business. The person with the strongest why wins in this business. They put themselves into a position where they can deal. It's not an easy business, okay, because you're dealing with people, but it is a simple business with a simple system. We simply show people how to save money on a bill that they have to spend on every month. So I'm going to wrap up with this, and this is very important. Guys, you're sitting here tonight, and I've realized over the time that I do business presentations all over the country, 6.5 years being in this business, there's 3 types of people that show up to a business presentation and take a look at what we do. The first type of person is a person that about halfway through the video, you realize that this is not the kind of business for you. It's nothing that you want to do. It's okay. And that's great, because we don't have a close in Ambit Energy. I'm not going to come up with the super duper deal for the night and that you're going to have to get in tonight and you get the best deal. The bottom line is, if you're not interested, that's okay. The best thing you could tell the person that invited you is, no, I'm not interested. Become a customer of theirs and put yourself in a position where you can save some money on your electricity and you can help them to build a business. Then the second type of person that shows up to business presentation is a technical person. They need information. There's probably a magazine there, and you're looking at that magazine and you're salivating. You want to read it from front to back and back to front. You want to watch the video 6 or 7 times, because that's how you process a decision. And there's probably a reason that you won't be able to process the decision tonight about getting into the business, and that's okay. We have plenty of information. I'm here to kind of wrap it up for you, but you can read that information and we can follow up with you. And then there's the third type of person. And the third type of person is really wondering when this presentation is going to end. They just can't wait until I stop talking, because they've already made their decision that this is for them and they want to start their Ambit Energy business. So if that's the case, just get started. Don't hesitate. Become your own first customer and start to build an Ambit Energy business so you can put yourself in a position like Sean did, and myself, and other of the leaders in this company. So if you're the first type of person, thank you very much for taking the time, supporting the person, coming out and seeing our business presentation. And you've just become an advocate for your friend. All right, now you know what they do and you can explain it. The second type of person, we have plenty of information. We have magazines, we have brochures, we have websites. We'll put you on that. But really, guys, the third type of person, and that person, I want to be the first one to congratulate you on starting your Ambit Energy business. And thank you very much.